Live Free or Die Hard really should have been the final Die Hard film. Because there was one Die Hard film after this, and I absolutely despised it. Yeah, there hasn't been Die Hard film since Good Day to Die Hard, which is the film after Live Free or Die Hard. And there will not be another one with Bruce Willis because of his retirement of acting. But yeah, Live Free or Die Hard takes place 12 years after the original. No, 12 years after Die Hard with a Vengeance. And when John McClane gets brought back, it's as if he never ever left. That's how good the sequel is. And unlike the first two, which both take place during Christmas, so it takes place during the 4th of July long weekend. And like the previous one, which incorporated more bits of comedy than the previous two, this one has Justin Long in it. And Justin Long, he's just not a comedian, but he still is a really funny actor. He has really, really juicy comedic chops. He's great in this. To me, Justin Long, before I saw him in Live Free or Die Hard, he was just a big, yeah, whatever, okay, fine. But yeah, I could take him or leave him. But in Live Free or Die Hard, him and Bruce Willis make the movie so perfect. This also has Timothy Oliphant or Oliphant. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And Cliff Curtis. They're both pretty good, but you can't go wrong with Bruce Willis as John McClane and Justin Long is an absolute scene stealer. Even though it's him and Bruce Willis that are the main characters. So, Bruce Willis is John McClane. He's approaching retirement, and and he must escort this young computer hacker, who's played by Justin Long, over to Washington, and because there's this cyber terrorism scheme that's happening. Cyber terrorists have gotten through the U.S. infrastructure. They want to shut down the entire U.S. infrastructure over the long weekend, and they caused a brief shutdown. And yeah, all the major hackers in the States have to get found in order to bring them in, and so that they can be brought in for questioning, really. And but there's this but the terrorists implant these viruses that are attached to bombs on all of these hackers' computers, so that they can't be brought in for questioning. But John McClane saves Justin Long, and all the terrorists, as you can guess, with all their machine guns, lots of crazy things happen. Now, the movie, okay, one thing that the first three had, even number three, even though number three wasn't all that much of an action film, this movie has really great action sequences. And as I said, the acting is really good. It has a good storyline to it, like the whole idea of cyber terrorism and shutting down U.S. infrastructure. However, the one thing that this movie didn't really do a good job of was the terrorists' motives. Why are they shutting down the U.S. infrastructure? Well, it's complex, but when it all gets said and done, when you figure it all out, it's like that doesn't sound very plausible. It sounds kind of silly, actually. That is why, in terms of the Die Hard films that I do like, I'm gonna have to call Live Free or Die Hard. I don't want to call it really the weakest because this is such a good film. I just don't think it is quite up to par with the first. It almost is up to par with the first three, but not quite. I almost was going to give this film 4 stars, but due to the motives of the terrorists, I simply can't. I just didn't care for the motives in this case. But it's close enough. It's close enough. I do love this movie, so I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars out of 4. Please subscribe.